Hello, my name is Sarah and welcome to my channel. My kitchen is a freaking disaster and I want to clean my fridge and organize my pantry, which is way more than I have the mental capacity to do without getting distracted. So I'm gonna make a video about it and do a time lapse. So if you have anything to clean, do it with me and we'll get all this stuff done together. Emptied out the shelves. The bottom I'm gonna deal with after, and I've emptied it all out onto the table. So now I'm going to consolidate everything I took out of the shelves, make sure I don't have multiples of things, make sure I know what everything is. There are a few things I pulled out and I was like, I have no idea what this mysterious white powder is. So that's what I'm gonna do now. On your phone is that whenever I'm doing a time lapse, if my phone goes down to like 20% battery and that little thing pops up, it stops filming, which is so frustrating because I couldn't see that. So here's a little update. Most of the stuff is off of our table. It's looking a lot better in here. I know it's not super aesthetically pleasing, but this is like baking stuff. That's noodles and like starch type stuff. This is large things of spices. These are small things of spices. Those are also some baking things, and these are just like odd things we don't use as much. So that's the update right now. These two little basket things, right now that one is holding fire alarms, which need to go back up, and that one's holding onions. But usually they're using potatoes and onions or other things kind of like that. Then we have our microwave, and we eat a lot of oatmeal, so I usually have our oatmeal stuff right here, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that. Up top we usually have like extras, backups, stuff like that. We have a little bottle of whiskey. We don't really drink much in our family, but it's kind of like a running joke. We always talk about the recipe. My grandparents came up with this, the recipe. If we get sick, well, before bed, we'll just like take a shot of whiskey to kind of clear out the sinuses, you know, kill all those bad germs. But my grandparents didn't want to admit they had alcohol in the house, so they called it the recipe. It's kind of funny. Stop for a quick lunch break and outfit change. My baby got milk all over me, so that was great. Now I'm going to quickly tidy up lunch and then get to work on the bottom half of the pantry. So this is the mess I'm working with. This has really been just a catch-all space, and it's just gotten really out of control. It looks so much better. Ta-da! Okay, so it is another day. It's actually a few weeks later. I had really poor time management skills in that last video. I seriously overestimated how much time I had that day. So here we are. It's now Christmas, but whatever, here we go. I have to say that one thing I am good at is keeping what is in my fridge pretty minimal. Growing up, my parents always had so much food in our fridge, and whenever we ended up spending time to clean it out, we'd always find tons of gross, moldy leftovers or condiments we forgot about that had been pushed way to the back, and I was like, that's not what's happening in my home. And so I keep it pretty minimal, but every now and then I do still need to clean it out, refresh what's in there. Like, I know for a fact that there is a really old cup of coffee in there. It's been way too long. I was gonna make an iced coffee out of it and never got to it. It's still there. So I'm a little afraid to look inside that cup. I know there's been a few things have spilt in my fridge, and so the fridge just needs a good wipe down. It needs to be cleaned. It's really dirty. So with that, let's get into it. So I'm gonna move the camera so we can get a look. Hi, Alfie. Hello. He's so polite. Okay, so here we go. Ta-da. Oh, the sun's really bright. So you can see the door is mostly condiments and such. And then inside, there's not a whole lot. We actually probably need to go grocery shopping. So I'm gonna start the same way I did with the pantry and just take everything out, put it onto the table, and then I can go through, throw things out, wipe things down, you know. I've got a nice Christmas candle lit because I'm afraid things might get a little smelly. So hopefully this will help with that. Let's start the time lapse. That's a lot of food. It's crazy because when you look in my fridge, it doesn't look like there's a lot, but when you pull it all out, there's a lot. I got my cheese stuff on the back, on the butcher block behind me. A lot of that needs to be thrown out, like a lot. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go through everything and find all the stuff that needs to be thrown out. There were quite a few things I found that should not be in there anymore. And I think I'm gonna lose some Tupperware containers today because there are some and I'm not gonna open them. Here's that mug of coffee. It's not moldy, but most of it's like evaporated out. That's so gross. I am going to try my best to organize things into like things that are like objects, and then I'm going to also be throwing out any gross stuff. Let's start the time lapse. But this actually is organized. So here we've got like condiments and such, drinks, and a bottle of wine I forgot we had. And this is some kombucha, salad dressings, other door things. This salad is left over from a couple nights ago, so I'll probably have that for lunch. And this is usually my veggie bin. I clearly need to go grocery shopping for veg. And this bin is like my Ike bins. This is food that's prepared for him or specifically for him. Over here on my stove top, we've got all my fats: butter, cream cheese, lard. I use lard for making pies, so I always have a bunch of that on hand. and just a few other things. Cheese and salami. This is a turkey summer sausage. Actually, I might throw that out because we tried it and hated it, and so this is like old. So it is sealed. There. Not gonna risk it. I am usually 100% a waste not, want not person. I do not go by expiry dates. I go by smell. But on things like this where I'm like, I actually have no idea how old this is, or I know this is more than 6 months old, or I know this is more than a year old. When it comes to big clean outs like this, if I have any sort of doubt, I just throw it in the garbage because it's not worth getting myself or my family sick over. All right, and here's the inside. So it's pretty grody. You can see I had a big spill on the bottom. That's what made me want to do this in the first place. So it needs a really good wipe down. Let's do that. The majority of cleaning products I use in my house are Norwex cloths. I really like Norwex. Their stuff is all infused with silver, and so it's an antibacterial. Especially when it comes to stuff with food. I don't really want to be putting a lot of harsh cleaners right on the surfaces of my fridge because I often will just put like produce right on it after I've washed it. And so I want to know that the inside of my fridge is trustworthy. And so that's why I use them. I do sell Norwex, but only to people in Canada. So if you're interested, you can email me, but I don't really actively sell it anymore. I just happen to still be a consultant. Kombucha, take a little break. I think I'll put the main stuff back in and then get to cleaning the door. Here's everything in the main area. There are drawers that go in the bottom, but I like to keep that open for when I come home from grocery shopping and I just need to throw the things in the fridge and get going to do something else, and I don't have time to actually put it away. And I can fit 2 or 3 bags in there and it just makes it easy. But you can see, looks pretty nice. So the top, I usually keep things for toast, any dips and such, and leftovers that I don't want to forget about. So like this is chicken that's been cooked. Meat's expensive, so I don't want that to go bad, but generally our leftovers go down there. And I always keep my dairy in the bottom and push back so it's nice and cold. And then here, this middle one is the stuff we access the most. So our vegetables, bread, and Ike's food. But yeah, honestly, this is usually what my fridge looks like, except right now there's no spills or messes. So that's really nice, because usually it's more like this. Gross. Looks much nicer now. I'm really a firm believer in keeping an empty fridge. Having my fridge like this really saves us a lot of money because I only go grocery shopping when I absolutely need to because there's literally no food left. I can really see what we have. It helps me to plan recipes because I look and see what I have first. And it also keeps me accountable to eat the leftovers that we have and not let them go bad because they are so visible. The things that did go bad that I had to throw out, most of them ended up getting pushed to the back somehow. Another thing you probably noticed was I keep all of my food to the front. The back third of the shelves have nothing on them. So that's usually why I keep leftovers there, because the idea is they'll get eaten within 2 or 3 days. And these things are the best. They're just little things from IKEA. Oh, I need to wash one. And we put like little packets of things that we get just so we don't waste them, like ranch dressing. There's little butters and ketchups in there. You know, waste not, want not. And since it's been a few weeks, I might as well throw in an update on the pantry because things are going pretty well in here, and probably do a little cleanup while I'm with you. So here's how it's looking. Got some onion shavings down there. It's looking pretty good. This actually doesn't belong in here. This is just a temporary thing. Some things I added. This basket is full of baby snacks and dried goods. It was in another cupboard, but I found it made more sense to go in here with food because it was in with like my mugs and stuff. But other than that, there aren't really too many changes. I moved this stuff for oatmeal up here. This is soup mix, but it's actually flaxseed. Yeah, I'm happy. It's continuing to go well. Thanks for helping me organize my pantry and my fridge. I can't believe I got that fridge done all in Ike's nap, in less than his nap, because I did quite a bit of cleaning beforehand. So now I'm gonna try to finish the dishes and clean up some of the recycling products from things that I dumped from the fridge. Anything that came in a recyclable container, I'm trying to clean it enough that I can recycle it. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye.